Yeah. Every week I slide in, break it down just right. Talking boats with the passion that I bring to the mic. From the big time plays to the moments we grind. You know I'm keeping it honest, that real talk every time. I've been watching this team since way back then, and now I'm riding with my people through the losses and wins. When you pull up to the show, you know what you gon' get. 4630 in the building, Chargers fan represent. Chargers talk 4630, yeah, we break it down clean. Real fans, real talk, everything.
Hello, this is Stacy, and welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot to me. Thank you for all the comments you guys are leaving on the podcast and on other social media outlets. I appreciate it. And if you can, like, share, and subscribe so you can keep this content growing to receive our latest or whenever we go on live. All right, y'all, let's get into this coming Monday night's matchup between the Chargers and the Eagles. Now, this is going to be an interesting game. I know a lot of Eagle fans, and there's some in my family who thinks they're going to break their 2-game losing streak against the Chargers. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. We'll just have to wait and see how things play out. But the question I keep getting from Philly fans is, why do I think the Chargers have a good chance at beating the Eagles? A lot of the Eagle fans have made sure I'm aware that we haven't beaten an NFC team this season, and they're the defending Super Bowl champions. Now, I can't argue with those two facts, but after looking at a few Eagle games on NFL All Access, I can clearly see why they've been struggling this season, especially in that Dallas game. But here's the thing about Philadelphia. You look at that offense, it just ain't the same as it was last year. And to me, the biggest problem is the offensive line. Last year, they were great. They were dominant. They were destroying defenders in the trenches. Now, they're just good. Jalen Hurts ain't getting them designed runs that opened everything up last season. Saquon Barkley, same thing. The lanes ain't there. The protection ain't there. And the scheme is different. It's not opening things up for their playmakers like it used to. You're not seeing all that RPO action they were living on last year. Not a lot of screens. The passing game has been up and down. And they ain't taking many shots down the field. And I don't know if it's by design or not, because the offensive line can't protect long enough for those step drops. Bottom line is this. This ain't the explosive Philadelphia offense we got used to seeing the last couple of years. They're doing some soul searching right now. And then you flip it to the Chargers side. You got the Justin Herbert situation with the hand. Can he go? Who knows? Football players do things normal people can't imagine. He had the surgery, and reports are that he has a plate and a few screws to stabilize the break in the left hand. And if he can go, he will. And if he can't, then it'll be Trey Lance. Next man up. That's been the case all season long for the Chargers. Does this complicate what the Chargers like to do offensively? Yes, it does. But what you going to do? They're not going to forfeit the game, and the outcome will be determined once the game is completed. The Chargers do get some luck. Getting back Amari and Hampton to give them a great 1-2 punch with Kamani Vidal, who has shown himself that he can play in this league and play at a high level. Amarian is a complete back. He can line up wide. He catch screens, run between the tackles, run with power, hard to bring down, and he has breakaway speed. So getting him back is adding another big weapon that the Chargers can use down the stretch. So let's ask this question straight up. Can the Eagles beat the Chargers? Absolutely they can. When you look at the Justin Herbert injury and everything that comes with that uncertainty, that's a big deal. Let's assume Justin does play. We don't know how much it's going to limit him. We don't know how he responds, and that alone can swing a football game, right? Then you look at the offensive line. The Chargers have dealt with injuries there all season long. Amari Hampton just coming back. We don't know if he's in the football shape to make a big impact because we haven't seen him since week 5. And the defense, they look dominant one week, then not so dominant the next week. It's been kind of up and down this season. And on top of all that, the Chargers still haven't beaten an NFC team yet this season. Now you're going up against the defending Super Bowl champions, right? Yeah, Philly definitely has a real shot at snapping their 2-game losing streak in this one. But let's flip it around. Why could the Chargers win this game? Well, Philly has been struggling too. They haven't been able to run the ball the way they used to. Saquon Barkley isn't even close to last year's production. Last season, he averaged 5.8 yards per carry. This season, he's averaging just 3.7 yards per carry. That's a big drop-off. That offensive line has lost some key pieces. Lane Johnson and Cam Jurgens has missed significant playing time this season, and they just haven't looked like the old Philadelphia line we used to seeing. The passing game has been inconsistent. You got lingering issues between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. And the Devontae Smith connection, they haven't been hitting the same either. So, yeah, you can definitely make a case for the Chargers winning this game because Philly has their own problems, right? That's what makes this matchup so interesting. You can make a strong argument on both sides. So you could break it down and say, yeah, this is a game the Eagles should win. And you can flip it and say, actually, the Chargers is a tough team that's going to fight to the end, and they can toughen out a victory as well. Either way, Monday night's going to tell us everything. Can the Chargers get Herbert back? Can they slow down a Philly team that's trying to get its soul back after being embarrassed? We're going to find out. Now, look, I know a lot of you go to work and you're busy during the day. You don't have time to be online doing a bunch of researching, right? So I'm sitting home every day and I'm retired, and you guys look to me to do that work for you, right? So I don't know if you've heard yet, but I want to discuss a signing of a running back for the Chargers. His name is Royce Freeman. Now, when I heard about the signing, I knew nothing about him. So I did my homework. I dug deep into his body of work to find out why, in my opinion, did Joe Ortiz decide to bring this guy over and make him a Charger. Now, here's what I found and why I think this signing actually makes a lot of sense. Now, let me pull up Royce Freeman. Let me read these stats to you. Royce Freeman is an Oregon Ducks legend. He's their all-time leading rusher with 5,621 career yards. His best season was in 2015 when he put up 2,184 total yards. That's 1,836 yards rushing and 348 yards receiving. Now, those are impressive numbers. That kind of workload tells you he's a true workhorse, a guy who can carry an offense and do a lot of the heavy lifting. He came into the NFL as a third-round pick by the Denver Broncos. And while he never became that impact running back in the league, he's been around. He was also with the Carolina Panthers, Houston Texans, the Rams, Dallas, and Cleveland, and he's played in about 80 NFL games. So this is not a guy who's learning everything on the fly. He's a veteran who knows playbooks, protections, and how to handle the grind of an NFL season. Now, let me be real with you about the Chargers running back room right now, because that's the reason this signing matters. You got Najee Harris that's out for the year. Hassan Haskins' window was just open to begin practicing with the team again. Amarian Hampton missed 9 weeks, but the good news is he should be activated this Sunday, and we'll see how he looks coming off that long layoff. But right now, on the active roster, you have Kamani Vidal and Jared Patterson backing him up. Patterson will probably be sent to the practice squad since Harbaugh already said Hampton is returning Monday night. Now, on the practice squad, before the signing of Royce Freeman, they had Omar Johnson and Travion Williams. So with this new signing, the practice squad now has Royce Freeman, Omar Johnson, and Travion Williams. Someone more than likely will be released. So why add Royce Freeman to that mix? For me, I think it's simple. Depth, experience, and reliability. When you are 5 games from the end of the season and you're pushing for the playoffs, you need to protect yourself. Running backs take hits. Injuries happen. You don't want to get caught thin. Bringing in a veteran like Royce Freeman is basically buying insurance. A guy who could step in, run downhill, pick up blitzes, and protect the football. He's the kind of player you plug in without changing the whole game plan, right? He's here because he's dependable. He's the grown man in the room. He's been through different systems and different roles, and that experience matters late in the year. If something happens and the Chargers have to elevate him, you'd rather have someone who's seen it all than a player trying to learn in real time. Another thing, practice squad veterans do more than just wait for a call. They help in practice, they mentor young guys, and keep the room steady. That's underrated, but huge when you're trying to keep a team focused down the stretch. So that's my take. Royce Freeman brings low-risk value. He gives us Chargers a trusted physical back who can chew up yards in short situations. He can help in pass protection, and he can be ready if the team needs him in a playoff-type game situation. So, yeah, don't sleep on this signing. It's quiet, it's smart, and it's the kind of move that a team makes when they're serious about getting to January. Royce Freeman's college experience, in particular, that massive 2015 season, his veteran experience make him a sensible piece to add to the Chargers' depth chart as they push for the postseason, and making the case for why the Chargers still have a real shot at the AFC West. Now, let me close with transitioning into that topic. I keep hearing all these so-called experts on TV already gifting the AFC West to the Denver Broncos. I got my friends I talk football with about 3 days a week, And yesterday we had a really passionate debate about where the Chargers will finish at the season's end. I'm constantly hearing that the Chargers should be trying to get a wild card position. And look, I don't care how they make it. I just want them to be in the tournament. But the notion that the Broncos already have it locked to be the AFC West champs is just not true. And that's not how I see it. But the pushback is that the Chargers need to settle for a wild card fight with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm sitting here like, hold up, pump the brakes. The Chargers still have a very real, very legitimate path to win the division. And I'm going to lay it all out for you right now. First, let's look at the Chargers' final 5 games. Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, and Denver to close it out. Tough, right? Absolutely. But not impossible and not out of reach for this team. Now, for the Chargers to take the AFC West, they need at least 3 wins out of these last 5 games. 3. Do that, and they finish 11-6. And with the way this team has responded all season, they're very capable of finding those 3 wins somewhere in that stretch. Not saying they will do it, but they're capable. Now, let's shift over to Denver. Yes, they won 9 straight. Big respect. That's impressive. But let's be real. How they're winning is a whole different story. Their offense has been sputtering for weeks. To me, they look exactly like the Chiefs' offense from last year, right? Scraping by, struggling to put points on the board, but just barely surviving. Because the Broncos, they do have a championship caliber defense, and no doubt that defense has been carrying this team. But we all saw how the Chiefs story ended, right? The offense eventually caught up to them on the big stage, and that was in that Super Bowl against the Eagles. So now let's look at the Broncos' last 5 games. Raiders, Packers, Jaguars, Chiefs, and then the Chargers. Is there a world where Denver can drop 3 of these? Absolutely. Let's walk through it. Raiders, they'll probably win that one. Packers, that's a very losable game. Green Bay is more than capable of beating them. Jaguars, Denver likely will win that one. Chiefs, I think that's a loss. The Chiefs will win that. And then they have the Chargers in the season finale. And I've got the Chargers winning that game. Now, that gives Denver 3 losses against Green Bay, Kansas City, and then the Chargers, which means they also finish at 11-6. But here's the thing. They lose the tiebreaker because the Chargers already beat Denver early in the season. And if they win that final game, that means the Chargers sweep the Broncos. The division is tied. The record is tied, but the Chargers own the head-to-head tiebreaker. And that means the AFC West crown belongs to the Bolts. So anybody writing this team off right now, they're not paying attention. The path is there. The math is there. The tiebreakers favor the Chargers. And all they have to do is handle business and grab 3 wins down the stretch. And that right there is why the Chargers still absolutely have a shot to win the AFC West. Thank you guys for listening. I'll keep digging and bringing you anything new if I find out before game day. Let me know what you think about this move. Hit me up on social media. Drop me your comments. You don't have to just be a Chargers fan. All is welcome here. We just ask that you please keep the comments respectful, and we will talk about it on the next episode. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in right here on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. I'm Stacy. Have a great day and boat up.
Chargers talk 4630, yeah, we break it down clean. Real fans, real talk, everything in between. From the field to the fans, every moment we see. Turn it up, tune in, it's the place to be. Chargers talk.